Well, hello and a very warm welcome to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn, and we have our regulars here at the crack of dawn and also the wonderful Bernie. How are you both?
Hello, thank you. Lovely.
Hi, Andrew.
And
Hello, good morning.
it's glorious morning.
It is, it's fabulous.
How have you both been?
Well, I've been very good, very busy as usual. And today we have the lovely Bernie O'Reilly, who's come along to talk about being a medium and also how we approach, I'm going to ask Bernie some questions really about how we approach a medium and know that that individual is not going to be the kind of person who just rips us off and gives us lots of things that perhaps we just want to hear.
Yeah, and I think that's right, because we're so used to, as you know, I'm a member of the Magic Circle, and we're so used to people making all sorts of claims. And I always like to keep an open mind and to question everything. But clearly there are some unscrupulous people out there. And I thought what would be helpful is you could help us spot the fakes. Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah.
So give us some tips about that then. Talk us through that.
Well, I mean, I don't even advertise. People come to me, so be very wary of these big adverts. There's an awful lot on Facebook, an awful lot. I myself have had the opportunity to be read by some very big people and with very poor results that cost an awful lot of money. The people that approach me normally approach me with a problem, and they approach me through recommendations from somebody else, because I don't advertise at all, and a lot of my time is given to help people in dire consequences sometimes. Hence, I was introduced to Dawn via a friend. Is that not right?
Another friend, yes.
Yes,
I can say who the friend is. The friend, in fact. Oh, maybe I can't actually thinking about it. No, I can't. Sorry, but a very well-known person anyway, who introduced Bernie to me at a time when, these are the times when people reach out, actually, when you are often, in a tricky situation. For me, there'd been a death in the family and a will had been lost. And I didn't know who to turn to and what to do. And so this very well-known friend of mine introduced Bernie to me. And that was how I met Bernie.
And we've been friends ever since. Woo!
So part of the thing then is obviously to spot, there are fraudulent ones out there, aren't there?
Sorry, can I just go back a little step here as well? Because while it's very easy and it comes across as being quite glib in a way for Bernie to say, I don't advertise, people come to me. That's purely because of word of mouth, and she has been going for a long time. Because in reality, how would you get to Bernie and get to know her, or how would anybody in the audience be able to contact Bernie? They wouldn't be able to. So we need to maybe find a way of doing that. An email address, again, you can do it via my email address and I can pass it on to Bernie, dawnparry@hotmail.com, and we will put people in touch with Bernie.
Fantastic. And people can also write into the show and various other things as well. So,
yes.
And I think the important thing is this, and I think this is why people at the moment, they're desperate for positive news. And sometimes when people are desperate, there are those who prey on the desperate. And that's probably the problem. A lot of people, as you mentioned, when they lose a loved one very close to them, they are desperate to try and get in touch with that loved one. And people can hold out promises. And famously, Harry Houdini, that's what happened. He was told that he'd be able to contact his mother when she passed. And he went along to a medium and he realized that that particular medium was fraudulent. And he then spent the rest of his life trying to work out to expose them. So what are the tips for spotting the fraudulent ones?
Right. Can I just, that's a really fantastic point here, because you, as a medium, I cannot guarantee anything, and that is it. And I tell people, look, if you're coming today, I'll ask of the ether before I even do a reading. I say lots of prayers. I ask my angels to come close, and I always say, if there's anybody here that wants to pass on a message, please come forward. You cannot guarantee that they will ever. And sometimes, like yesterday, I had a lovely result, but it was nothing to do with the guy I was reading for. But it was really funny and lovely, and they loved it. And it was a lovely little message. But you cannot. If somebody says to you, I guarantee I can get an answer result, then don't touch them, because you can't. Spirit doesn't work like that. Spirit doesn't work like that. When we pass, we either go on to the next stage, or we're residual, or we stay as a black, but black is somebody that just hides around places. A residual is somebody that thinks, I love this house, I don't want to go home, like the little woman that's chucking sugar all over the house when I went to talk to her. And if you're lucky enough to get somebody that stays, fine, great, but it really does not work like that. It doesn't. And I think if anybody watched the film Ghost, that's probably one of the nearest reality films I've ever seen that portrays spirit in the right way. It is as it is, and that was somebody that didn't want to go. But truly, if somebody says that they can contact somebody, give you the information you need, don't touch them. I often see people that come to me with ridiculous things, and I just tend to pull myself together, give them a pat on the back, and tend to go in and sort themselves out, because they don't need me. This is not what they need.
So Ghost is the best representation. Who is your Patrick Swayze?
Who is your Patrick Swayze?
Oh, do you know, I've always wanted to interview Clint Eastwood. Wow! Love Clint Eastwood. Oh my God! I'd interview him. I want to know what he has for breakfast, what he does during the day, when he goes to sleep. Oh my God! Oh, and the other one I really loved was Nicolas Cage. Oh my God, he's gorgeous. But I always swore that if I parked my car outside his house and let him steal it, but I'd have to be in the back seat first. So there we are.
Well, so when you're doing, talk to me about the process then, Bernie. So when you're doing your reading, you're saying that Ghost is the best depiction, if you like, of what actually happens. You have your own spirit guides, do you?
I do, yeah. I work with Angel Michael. I have my own guardian angel, and I write with Raphael. I have Uriel around me, and these are angels that have been with me since I was born. Everybody has an angel, everybody. And the thing is, with angels, it's a very beautiful thing. When they appear to you, they will always appear to you in a form you will find acceptable and not frightening. Now, I'll give you an example. Always when I was a little girl, I had a lady in a blue dress that was always stood in the kitchen. And there was also a big dark sprangly angel that was in my bedroom. But now Michael comes forward, bless him, and I do love him when he comes forward. He's an amazing guy. And he wears a big blue cloak and a curly yellow wig. It makes me laugh, and it's beautiful. So an angel can appear in any form. They can be male or female. They can even be an animal.
Even an animal. Okay.
They can be an animal.
They can be an animal.
Oh yeah, an animal as well. So on that basis then, what was the first time? When was the first occasion that Michael or Raphael or one of the other ones? When was the first occasion they appeared?
When I was a very small child, very small. Apparently, I used to see them in the cot. I used to play with them in the cot. I would be going like this in the cot, and they've always. I'm just. Consider them normal. Although being brought up in the Catholic Church, they were evil. You weren't allowed to have an angel with you there because they were evil. And the Catholic Church frowns. Although they preach about angels, you go to the altar and there's angels over in the church. There's angels. They don't like it if you know one. They really don't. But they've always been around me. And I have to say, at one point with the Catholic teaching, when I was a child, I was almost at one point made to fear them. And thank goodness I didn't. The Catholic Church can be quite strange sometimes.
So you spoke the first time they started. You could see them when you're in your cot. You say, when do they start passing message on to you, and how does that work in terms of tell us what's happening, give us advice? I mean, talk to me about that process. How do you communicate?
Let me as well interrupt here a little bit, because I've got first-hand experience of the way that Bernie kind of presents that. But perhaps if Bernie can start first with when you first actually saw your first angels, how did they present themselves to you?
As little flying beings. They were beautiful. They're like little flying beings when I was smaller, but as I grew, there would just be somebody that would appear, just be somebody in the corner, that lovely reassuring shadow, that face. It's quite a beautiful thing. Just that when you're alone and there's nobody, you have nothing, you have nobody, you're being abused and treated very badly, just that comfort of that angel face, or that little person in the corner that you know is just going to be there when you wake up, and nobody's going to hurt you during the night. That is how I got to know mine. And there's what we call spiritual development. You can go on these spiritual development courses, which is fantastic. I am actually just about to finish my Reiki Master Teacher, and that has opened my eyes to spiritual teaching. And the best way, I would say, if anybody's interested in being a medium, trying out mediumship, because everybody in this world is psychic. We all have the ability. Don't let anybody ever tell you that we don't, because we all have it. It's whether we choose to tune into it, because it's there within all of us. We all have this, like, we are all, oh my God, I'm going goony now. Here we go. So we all have it. And there are some fantastic spiritualists out there that do the most amazing courses that will guide you through your spiritual journey. I've had the privilege of being taught by some really, I mean, because I still learn. I mean, God, I'm 62 now, but I still learn. I'm open to learning all the time. I've had some fabulous teachers tell me just how to enhance the reading, how to listen a bit more, how to pull the angels in close, because now I can do that, which is absolutely, I couldn't before. You know, that's just taken a few years to do that. But there are some brilliant people out there that can help you, guide you, and even teach you to become a medium, if that's so what you wish to be.
So
and there's
everybody then
actually do, and there's some good mediums out there that are very natural and don't know it.
Sure. So to be clear on this then, Bernie, you're saying that everybody has psychic ability.
Absolutely. It's in all of us. We're not special people.
And it's a question of honing that psychic ability. So if for example, people watching this at home and they say, look, how can we test and how can we improve our own psychic ability? What would you say to them?
A lot of people that are naturally psychic are what we call, obviously, intuitive. So they get an intuitive gut, right? They can meet somebody and think, oh, I don't like you, but I don't know why. They think that's not right. They can be in a situation or they can feel something. This is somebody that's naturally got a psychic ability, a very, very brilliant.
And we often call it, we just call it intuition.
Yeah, intuition. It's that's what it is. And
you should always rely on that intuition. Yes.
But yes, yeah, and that actually is your first start of psychicness, because it's there, it's in you, it's part of you, part of your ether, part of your being. Everybody's got it, everybody. It's just whether you choose to want to. You've got to want to tune into it, because a lot of people do see it as a curse. And when I was younger, it was a curse to me, but now I don't see it as a curse. Thank you, Lord. But it was because I was made to feel that I was an evil person by the Catholic Church, because they didn't like it. And my mother was psychic, her mother was psychic. Oh my God, as it goes.
But everybody is, as we say.
Exactly.
It's about accepting it.
We are. You've got to want to accept it. That's it.
When Bernie first met me and first set eyes on me, the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my God, I can see all these lights around you. There's all these. You've got angels all around you," she said. And I thought, gosh, but this is news to me. I've always been quite a lucky individual, I thought, very fortunate. But anyway, and Bernie immediately saw lots of lights moving all around me constantly, telling me that, you know, I had layers of this protection and so on. And I remember we sat down in my sitting room, and I'd just made us both a coffee. We sat down in my sitting room, and Bernie immediately says, "Oh, there's a little girl running into me with a balloon in her hand." Now, we had done some research on our home previously, before I'd ever met Bernie, because we'd had a few situations where, well, I won't even go into it, but there were some strange sort of sounds and things going on here. And it's an old place. Anyway, it turned out that there was a little girl, an 8-year-old girl, who had died in the house of consumption years ago, in, I think it was 1890. And Bernie had kind of, you know, we call her Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer. Yeah,
and Bernie had spotted her among a few others that seemed to be running around the house all the time, all sorts of people.
Oh.
So there you go.
Yeah, but you're quite psychic as well. I just said to you, why do you need me? Because you're psychic.
Because I always see myself as very intuitive. That's why I rely on my gut instincts.
So when you look at somebody then, Bernie, you can see spirits around them. Is that what you're saying? You can see angels?
It depends how they present. Everybody's different, and everybody's got what we call an ether, a coating around them. Some people I look at and think, there's nothing. I have people that come to read, I read for, and they sit there in front of me, and there is nothing. Nothing. And I look at them and think, oh. How do you
feel about charging them if there's nothing?
I don't.
Wow.
I don't. No, but I still read the cards, and I tell them. I had this one woman that came on the phone, and she was vicious and evil and crabby and nasty. And I said to her, "Love, why are you ringing me?" Because the thing is, I'm doing this for free. I did it for free for a competition. I was in Chat magazine, and so I gave a free reading. And I said, all I feel from you is viciousness and jealousness. And basically, cut a long story short, this woman was persecuting herself over jealousy of her mother's will. And she disassociated herself from the family. And it was just this nasty black. And I just said, go away, sort yourself out. You do this, and this, whatever. And then in 6 weeks' time, ring me back, and we'll have another go. And she did. In 6 weeks, she went, sorry. I said, that's fine. I said,
so you can do readings. You can do readings over the phone. Can you do readings over these very different platforms?
Yes, I did over the phone that time because it was for Chat Magazine. They were promoting my book, so my first book. So I offered to do it, and that was a huge success. I have to say, this woman still keeps in touch with me now. Bless her.
Very good.
But I don't really like that because I like to touch people. This is funny. I like to just get that little touch. I can pick up senses and feelings. So I like to see people, and I like to have a look at their aura and see. I did a video call yesterday, and this beautiful woman came on, and all of a sudden she was covered in yellow. I'm thinking, oh, yellow, learning, yellow. And I said, you're going to start a new business. You know, you're learning something. You go with it. Keep it. Your body loves it. You know, it turns out she's just started the architect's course. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, she was thrilled. Yeah. So
So what sort of things then, Bernie? I'm just trying to get an idea. Are you predicting the future? In which case, are you saying that everything is predetermined, or are you helping guide people's choices for the future? How does it work?
Right. The day you're going to die is predicted the day you're born. End of. Your time is marked the minute you're born. But the thing is, I can't tell people what to do. I would never do that. So I help them. If people come to me and they think, well, I've got £2 million, so I put it there, or do I put it there? So what makes you feel the most comfortable? Tell me what in your mind makes you feel the most comfortable? Because I'm not going to tell you, but I can read the card and say, well, if you're thinking of this is what their angels saying. This is what their angels saying. Yesterday, my gentleman is liquidating about £10 million worth of assets to go in a different direction. And I helped him. He's rung me this morning. Decisions are made.
And have you bought your little island in the Bahamas?
No.
It's not quite enough money for that.
Some things are available. But so are you, just to be clear then on this, are you saying that from the moment we're born till the moment that we die, all of that is predetermined? And
yes, it is. Yeah, it is. We can choose because it's all about free will.
Yeah, the paths aren't determined. Yeah. The pathways aren't predetermined. No. It's your time span that is predetermined, is what Bernie's saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the moment you're born till the moment you die, those bits are predetermined. The bits in between, they're different paths which could lead to different ways. Yeah. And you help people select the path. Is that right?
Yeah, I just help people. Yeah.
And it's important that people rely on their gut instinct.
Yes, it's so important.
Okay. So what you can do, if you pick a particular path, is that particular path predetermined?
No, because you have free will.
No, but what I'm saying is that if I choose to do this, if I choose to go down that path path is predetermined. That's what I'm getting advice on, or is that as well?
If you came to me and said, look, I'm doing this at the moment, it's all really successful, should I go elsewhere? I'd say, I'd have a look at the cards, and I'd ask you, why? Why do you want to do that?
Could you, Bernie, for example, one thing first of all, do you ask yourself which way you should go? Do you know when your final day on Earth is going to be?
No, I don't. You know, flipping, I wish I did. Do you know? And this is it. I mean, people come to me with all their problems and ask for help. I can't even sort my own problems out. It's incredible. And when you're a psychic, you have to be a good psychic. And you basically, to know you're a good psychic, you have to have suffered and understand what people are trying to talk to you about. I don't tell people what to do, ever. I try and encourage them to listen to themselves and make their own decisions, really. I'd never make any decisions for anybody, but I would read the cards for them. It's not a problem.
Sure. You know, I'm trying to get to, so when Michael and Raphael and the various others come and advise you, do they have all the knowledge as to how things might turn out if you follow a particular route? Is that why they're telling you?
No, they're just there to nudge me. No, they don't. Again, they're there. It's free will. It's Andrew, I've made so many mistakes in the past, you don't believe, because I didn't listen. I didn't feel. I didn't, you know, but now at last my life is sort of going in the right direction because I choose it to be. I make the decision. They don't tell me what to do. I make the decisions, but also I listen a little bit to my inner self.
Yeah, and I like all the positive sentiment. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to get a measure on what information the spirits who you say are talking to you. What information do they have which we don't have normally? You say it's intuition. Go the right way. They can guide you certain ways. If they've got knowledge, I see what I would understand is if they have knowledge what the outcome would be if you went a particular way, then I would understand. Then you.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Then you see, it doesn't work like that, though, Andrew. It doesn't work like that. They don't say you've got to put £10 million in that account now to be a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. So they say they're there.
Well, if you have £10 million, the way to be a millionaire is to lose the other 9. So that
It doesn't work like that. It's comforting message, support, strength, and guidance in a spiritual manner. Spirituality is a really funny thing to explain to anybody if you don't get it. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of people. It's an anomaly, but to me, it's been around me all my life. So it's something.
I'm keen to try and explain to people so they understand that you're getting the comfort, and I understand.
You've got intuition. You've got with you. I can tell you about you now.
Go on then.
You're one of these people that you make snap decisions because yes, good, because you've got this gut feeling here, and that's you. And that's a gift, Andrew. That's such a gift. A lot of people don't have that, which is why a lot of people get themselves in all sorts of situations that they can't make a decision. Imagine being in your life not being able to make a decision. You can make a decision,
and a lot of them are too scared to make mistakes.
Yes, they are.
So yes, but in that, you know, your book, the Book of Failure. Yes, lots of mistakes before we get things right. That's how the most successful of us manage to end up with a reasonably good life. Whether it's just, you know, and I don't mean with what we have or own, but just with our own personal sense of achievement.
Yeah. But I believe in life, you've got to fail to achieve and be good.
No, well done, Dawn, for promoting my book. I always say that Andrew is a book of failure. So she's very good like that. And we do, absolutely. I always say that if necessity is the mother of invention, failure is the father of success.
Yes,
indeed.
Because we always talk about the successes, but never the failures that lead to that success. But the point I would make, Bernie and Dawn, is that I don't necessarily make snap decisions. I make informed decisions. I try and keep an open mind. I look at all of the evidence. I weigh up all of the evidence from all different sources and then reach what I would call an informed decision. I think that's
you can do that. That's a key strength of yours. That is a very key strength of yours. You know, a lot of people can't do that. Even people that are in sort of similar situations to you, they can't do that.
Okay. So what else can you tell, even though it's through the power of the internet? What other things can you tell about me then, Bernie?
There's one thing. I think you have a very soft side. I see a very soft curl on the side of your head, which is it's almost like I want to pet it, like a pussycat, you know, purr. You have a very soft side, actually. You've got a very gentle soft side, but you don't let it out very often. You need to let that out a little bit more often.
I think a lot of people, and this is the other thing as well, where you sort of touched on how you can find the things. A lot of it is couched in the language, isn't it? They have sometimes the Barnum statements that they call them sometimes, which would apply to everybody. It's like the horoscopes. When you read them in a newspaper, there cannot be X zillion people in the world who have exactly the same thing. What are your views on horoscopes in newspapers?
I don't read them. I don't read them.
I should just say I've got another online business on the go upstairs right now, and I've got to keep the howling laughter down because that's currently being recorded as well. So I'm sorry, keep the laughter down. This is too much.
You can say I can hear the spirits coming through. No, that's Bernie.
Indeed.
Glorious. So newspaper ones, I mean, those are the ones that say, look, there are today you might be feeling anxious, but there's a little bit of calm coming over the horizon, or there's sometimes you're really, really happy, but other times you feel quite sad and insecure. It's those sort of Barnum statements which would apply to everybody at all times.
I don't read horoscopes. I don't read horoscopes. It's not my thing. There's some brilliant horoscope people out there, don't get me wrong, but it's just not my thing. I've learned now to concentrate on what I do best and what I've ignored for years and years and years, and that's what I need to do now. But I don't knock them, but I just don't read them.
Okay. Well, too general to apply to everybody. So the advice you would be is, look, keep an open mind. The only things which are determined the moment of your birth and the moment of your death. Do we come back again?
You can do, yes, you can do. But that's another story. That's how long that is. You can do, yes. You can be reincarnated, yeah.
Okay, and you say that you can do. Is that a choice or it's chosen for you?
It is a choice. It's your. A lot of people don't want to leave this earth, so they choose to stay.
I grew up with Buddhism all around me, and in Buddhism, it was very much, although it's not, it was kind of just assumed that you come to life to learn lessons, and when you die, if you haven't learned particular lessons in life, you come back again, and you keep coming back. And you know, when sometimes they'll say, oh, that's a really old soul, that really old soul has come back for their last lesson, as you know, is the kind of the thing. And so, and that old soul will be somebody that's very comfortable with themselves, even from birth. When they're little, you know, you'll know them, they'll be comfortable with themselves, they'll go through life being very comfortable with their decisions and things like that, and they'll be the ones that, so say, you know, if it all is as it is, or as is talked about, that they won't come back. But frequently, you know, you'll have the sort of the nitwits who live in life who keep making mistakes, and they will keep on coming back until they learn how to live peacefully.
Now, all interesting stuff. So the way that it works, and you, as you say, there are moments which are predetermined. You have some people who may come back. There are choices in life, and all you're doing is help guide to those choices. But those choices are not predetermined. Is that a fair summary?
I think it's a fair summary. I think it's a fair summary.
Good, well done. I like the fair summaries. It's all going to be good. Wonderful stuff. So those are the sort of tips then, but there are also fraudsters out there, and you would warn us against those. Try and get recommendations. What do you do? Do you go along to mediums yourself?
Well, I have, but I'm always disappointed. What is nice, if anybody out there is listening, if you really want to look more into mediumship or spirituality, try and find a nice spiritual church. There's quite a few around. They cost nothing to attend. It's a beautiful service, and at the end of the service, the woman or person who is taking the service will do what we call a reading. They will stand at a lectern and give a reading out to the congregation, and that is lovely. And when I have the chance to go and do that, I just sit at the back and listen, and I find it all quite reassuring. I just love being around these sort of people. But if anybody out there is spiritual church, you'll find them. You look them up, you'll find one. Go along, just have a cup of tea out there, have a nice cup of tea and a piece of cake after as well. go along and be part of the congregation. See what you think.
It's all really interesting. But you say you've been to some yourself, you've been disappointed. What's been disappointing about the ones you...
Well, because it's very hard for a psychic to read for another psychic. Obviously, I don't know why. I've been in, and the thing is, when I do a reading or something, I don't want to tell people all about the past, because they know that.
Yeah.
They know that. You don't want to dwell on the past. A lot of people have had bad past. I've had a bad past, you know, so when I go to see somebody, I don't want to know about the past. I know the past. Don't tell me about it. I'm not paying you to tell me what I already know.
No, but sometimes people feel as though if you're able to tell them something from their past, at least it gives you credibility. So they feel as though you might really be the psychic. But
you just give them a little snippet. You don't spend the whole hour just telling them about their past, because you know one particular, I was having a really bad time before my first marriage broke up, and I went to see somebody, and she just spent an hour, telling me about my past, and I kept walking away. I thought, what's that about? Why I wasted my time? You know, didn't give me any help at all. So when people come to me, I try to give them help. I also try to get them to help themselves as well. That's quite important. You know, if you're in a situation you need some help, you've got to try and help yourself as well by understanding. You have to understand, everything happens for a reason. So you have to understand what that reason is, and you have to help yourself to get out of it.
Did the spirit, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, but did the spirits tell you that your first marriage was not going to work?
No. No, they didn't know. They let me suffer. And I suffered.
Sufferance is part of it
Yeah, of
all.
course it is, yeah.
But
You learn it.
surely, I mean, if they were talking to me and I would say, look, listen here, Michael and Raphael, listen here.
Yeah, Raphael, yeah.
Why didn't you warn me?
Because they don't. Because again, it's not for them to warn. It's okay. There are, you just touched on something else. There are occasions when people have been in mortal danger and an angel has stepped in and helped and sorted that situation out. Great. That's because it wasn't their time. And that was an accident going to happen. And that is recorded every day, everywhere in the world, you know. But the whole point about life is you live it. Your angels are there. They push you, nudge you, try and get you to look in the right direction. But you know, at the end of the day, like the Lord always says, we have free will, and that's it. We have free will.
So it's more about free will. So people, because the obvious questions, you must get asked these questions all the time. Like, who's going to win the 247 out of Goodwood, or tell me the national lottery numbers? Those sort of things. You're not really predicting the future, are you?
No.
I can predict the future right now, though. If I don't let, in the window, the other side of this camera, if I don't let a very loud Ronnie, the Bengal tiger cat, in through the window, in fact, I'm going to have to do it. Right, hang on.
Oh, go and let Ronnie in, because we love it. And we love seeing these animals, don't we? Which is whereabouts are you, Bernie? Whereabouts do you live? Are you close? You're obviously close to Dawn. That you can.
Am I close to what, my darling?
Well, you're quite close to Dawn, are you?
Yes, not too far away. I live on the seafront in Weston, and Dawn's here.
She lives about 6 miles away. Sorry, I am here. I'm trying to get Ronnie. Come on, Ronnie.
It's going to come in.
Come on.
Here we are. Ronnie is. This is what I love about these sort of things. We meet all of the wonderful animals. We've had Pavarotti, the cock.
I know, he's lovely.
On the program. Glorious. And Ronnie, here is Ronnie in? Are we going to see Ronnie?
I have completely wacky animals. Hang on.
You haven't met Brenda yet, have you? You haven't met Brenda. You haven't met Brenda yet, my Brahma, my big chicken.
Oh, do you have, how big does Brenda? Looks enormous. Oh, look at Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. And Ronnie's a beautiful.
Do you know, we can get Ronnie to sing. Would you like to have a chat, Ronnie? I thought so. What would you like to sing? Really? Okay, here we go. We're going to have a song. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday, dear. Oh, he's not doing it now. It must be. This is because he heard Bernie laugh. He thought, "Who's that laughing at me?"
Oh, wonderful. Well, we haven't told her whose birthday it is. It's got to be somebody's birthday. Whose birthday will it be today?
It's Ronnie's in about 2 days' time.
Oh, do happy birthday, dear Ronnie. Then go on then.
Happy birthday, dear Ronnie. Happy birthday to you. No, he doesn't like other noises. But he honestly, he could be another internet sensation.
I think Ronnie would be an absolute.
He's going to get a bit vicious now, so he's got to go down.
I would let him down. He's totally fed up with this. Leave me alone. I've done my party piece, which is always a joy. So we touched on that. Then that's always very interesting about predicting the future, and it's not really possible to pick. Basically, what you're saying is that you cannot predict the future. Is that right?
She gets gut feelings about things, to be fair, as we all do, I suppose, about all sorts of things, going back to the instinctive stuff. But no, she doesn't go around telling the future.
No. I think that's a very dangerous thing to do, personally. Yeah, I do tell you things, don't I? I do say to you, I think so and so and so, but I don't broadcast. I wouldn't do that, you know. It is what it is, life's what it is, but we always have our discussions about what we think is going to happen, don't we?
Yeah. Do you know what? I can hear Pavarotti in the background now. Awful.
So I have to ask them so it's rather an unfair question then. So when I say what's going to happen this year, or what do we foresee, we can't really see that at all, can we?
We can have instincts. We can have an instinct. This is why people bet, isn't it? This is all about what the betting industry is based on, isn't it? You know, a lot of things that people bet on, which is crazy, but I have instincts, but I never predict anything. But when we get our little witches cauldron together, as we do, we call the little witches circle. We always chat about what thing's going to happen. I think this, and we always keep an eye on things, don't we? We do. We keep an eye on the world, don't we?
I suppose. I'm not sure about being.
I didn't mean.
I've never joined in a witches or met witches even. But I mean, my hair's gone a bit crazy in lockdown, and I apologise for as for witchiness. No,
we get together and we discuss and we put the world together and we talk about things. And yeah, I've had a few inklings, but no, I'd rather do what I do with people rather than try and predict and change.
Andrew, I've got to say, bang goes my political career.
Don't be silly.
Oh, the witches, I love it.
Great film, The Witches of Eastwick. I love that film with Cher. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be good? Well, so I'll tell you what, this is the really the helpful, if you like, the helpful public announcement is to stop people being conned in some way, as you say, and that's really, really useful. What you're saying is that everybody's got some psychic ability, everybody's got intuition.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Those who prey on the vulnerable and get money when they have no skill at all and they shouldn't, we can stop people doing that. What is there a test that people can do, and if so, what is it?
Gut instinct.
It's your gut. It is your gut instinct, really. And again, if they say they guarantee something, if they say they're going to guarantee something, you can't guarantee anything. You can't. It's impossible. You can't.
If you're guaranteeing double glazing, that's a different issue.
Yeah.
But you can't guarantee life. Nobody can guarantee.
You can't
life.
guarantee anything. You can't. You just, that's really important. Okay. And you've got to like the person that's going to read for you. You've got to know. When you meet them, you've got to. They've got to be nice. Like somebody said to Dawn, Bernie's okay. She said, and we got on straight away, didn't
yes,
you?
Yes.
It's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very important.
Mm.
Very good. Well, finally, I know you've got an ordinary pack of cards there somewhere. Where's that pack of cards? Let's have a look at it.
Here it is. Wait,
Did you say ordinary?
Yeah. Hang on, did you say?
Spread them out. Let's have a look at the cards.
Hang on, which ones? The angel cards?
Oh no, you said you've got I think some panda cards you mentioned.
Look, this is Andrew, I can't even open these things. These really are quite something. Hang on. Oh, wait, I'm in. These really are quite something. Okay, so we have here. We're just rustling. Oh, look. Panda. Lots of pandas and oh my, okay. And here, oh, I've got to put some down because there are an awful lot of them. Hang on. So we have what looks like child throwing a football. They look kind of Japanese, don't they?
I know, they're really rather fun, aren't they? So do they have the normal indices? I mean, can you tell what they are? Or it's for a different game. Is it like a
made by Mattel, who normally this is one of my son's old card games by the looks of it. So yeah, so they're all a bit strange. So balls being thrown upwards, downwards. It's all about balls bouncing. No, there's no way of telling what they are actually.
So as in a pack of cards, it's completely different. I'll tell you what we should do though, but maybe we could you could determine something which could make a number and something which could make a suit. Is there an easy way of doing that? Yes,
I would say there is.
Do something. Give them to Bernie to shuffle, for example, because I've also over here. I've also.
Are you going to do?
I want to try an experiment. I've also got a pack of cards, and I want us to randomly select a card because I've made a prediction in here, and I want us to randomly select a card. So if you can give the cards to Bernie to shuffle.
Do I need to tell you what number these go up to?
Well, I think do it as a normal.
I think I shouldn't tell you anything.
No, don't tell me anything. Do it as a normal deck, which would be from well, you can go all the way up to 8.
Actually, I don't know if you can see this, but Bernie is now being eaten
I can
by
see.
Ronnie.
By
Ronnie. Ronnie does aggressive sitting.
Oh right. Oh, maybe Ronnie can help then. Ronnie can, if we can pick the number.
Yeah, I tell you what. Shall I shuffle the cards?
Yeah, shuffle the cards. You do. However you want to do it, we'll make it fair.
Okay. Right. I'm going to try this.
Okay, this is going to be extraordinary.
Hey, look at that. Do you want to see?
Oh, look at you. Oh, fantastic. That's the Russian shuffle. They're rushing off.
That's the one. Okay. So,
Okay, then pick a number. So the normal numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The cat will do it. The cat can pick the number.
Right, what do you want me to do?
I want you to select a card. So first of all, let's select, you can select a suit if you like. Ronnie can help. Pick a suit. So you can have a club, diamond, heart or spades. What's it going to be? Club, diamond, heart or spades?
There are no suits in this.
I know there's not, but ask
No,
Ronnie.
I'll pick one from you. Okay, I'm going to go with diamond.
Diamonds, okay. Diamonds are a girl's person. Oh yeah, okay. Ronnie agrees. Fantastic. We now need a number. So you've got diamonds then. You now need a number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sorry, he's got to.
There's a cat. You need a number, so you've got to pick that diamond. Okay, pick the diamond. It's going to be 2 to 10, or you've got Jack, Queen, King, Ace. So pick a number. You can use those cards if they've got numbers on them.
Yes.
Maybe you can ask Bernie.
Yes, they have.
Okay, so Bernie can pick a card.
Okay.
Have you got one?
Yes.
Which number's that?
Oh, you want us to tell you?
Well, no, it does help the people at home. I've got to make it. I know they're all psychic. I know you said they're all psychic.
It's a number 4, 4 of diamonds.
Okay, the 4 of diamonds. I've had these in front of you all the time, yes? Okay,
Yes.
You selected them independently. This is your moment. Here we go. If we spread out the cards, you see they're all facing one way. All facing one way over there like that, apart from...
Show us the other way.
What's that?
Yeah.
All facing one way
Show
apart
us
from
the
one
other way.
card. Can you see it?
Yes.
All facing one way apart from one card. And one card only. You pick the suit, yes? You also pick the number. Is it fair? We didn't predetermine anything.
No, true. But I know
And you pick, what was it you picked? You picked diamonds and you picked...
4 of diamonds.
Oh, the 4.
Yeah.
4 of diamonds. Well, that's a coincidence because that's the one card which I took down the other way.
Well done.
Hey, thank you. The joy of magic and psychics. It's all good stuff. It's been a right. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you as well, Andrew.
And we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
So there you have it, Dawn and Bernie and the 4 of clubs. A minor bit of exciting stuff. Anyway, do be careful out there. I think we've learned all sorts of things. There are some unscrupulous people. Be careful out there, but think of those positive thoughts. Keep your mind open, and together, I reckon we can find the truth between all these different stories. In the meantime, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, do write to me at guests@Octopus TV. That's guests@Octopus TV. You can follow me on the usual platforms at Andrew Eborn, at Octopus TV, at Stella TV4. And don't forget, subscribe to YouTube and Daily Motion, the other ones as well. But for now, thank you again to Dawn and to Bernie, and for you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.